Shibuya, being awkward, socially awkward. God, I hate it. Wow, walking in public, doesn't that piss you off? Hi, my name's Nahum, and I'm gonna be talking about social awkwardness or self-confidence, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna be talking about it. You know, I'm kind of like the sexiest man on the planet, but there was a point where I was socially awkward, didn't like the way I looked, dressed whatever, because I didn't really care about the way people thought about me, because I always thought that people were thinking bad things about me. In my last video, I proved a point by cutting my hair completely off and saying that it doesn't matter the way you look, because the way people perceive you will always change depending on how they know you. In this video, I'm gonna kind of lean on that a little bit and tell you about social awkwardness and how to get over it. Social awkwardness is an interesting topic because being socially awkward is something a lot of people deal with. Some people in college deal with it, some people deal with it as early as junior high, but the main people who deal with it are high school students, because you're in this confined space where everyone is just naturally judging each other. Here's how I was socially awkward. I actually used to be friends with a lot of cool people, and I actually enjoyed being friends with them, but they decided to make choices that I didn't exactly agree with. This is gonna be awkward because some of them are gonna watch this video, but I decided that, hey, maybe I should just kind of lean off a little bit and not make the same decisions that they're making. And in turn, I spent like 2 years with no friends, and it was worth it. And if you're watching this and you have toxic friends, I encourage you to leave them, even if it might have some negative side effects. But I'm gonna tell you how to get rid of the social awkwardness that you deal with right now. First, I'm gonna give a couple of things that everyone can do no matter what. Then I'm gonna give one magical tip that'll literally work no matter what, but it only works for men. It's gonna be interesting. The number one thing to realize when you deal with social awkwardness is that you gotta realize that social awkwardness is simply just an addiction to being comfortable. You are always gonna be comfortable if you're socially awkward, because you're naturally gonna avoid situations that make you socially awkward. The reason you feel anxious before raising your hand in class and saying "here" to the substitute right before they say your name is because naturally you do everything in your power to never speak up in the middle of class. That's the last thing you want to do. Even if it's the most simple thing where you're asked to just say "here" in the middle of class makes you feel awkward, that means you have a problem. You are too comfortable. You need to get rid of that. So here's my number one tip that everyone can follow, and it worked for me, and I promise you that you just need to do it. Be socially awkward. Hear me out. The first thing you gotta do is go where places make you awkward. Is walking in the hallways towards the flow make you feel awkward? Do it. Does making eye contact make you feel anxious? Do it. The more you do the things that make you feel awful and make you feel like, oh no, your anxiety starts freaking out, you need to do it. Now, obviously not everything. Obviously there's some exceptions. Be a normal human being and decipher what's natural and okay to do. But other than that, you need to do the things that you hate, even if it's having simple conversation with people, raising your hand in class. Do it all. Do everything in your power. You're gonna look completely stupid, and that's okay. You're gonna look like a total dork, but I promise you, in like months' time, it'll start to get better. It'll get better by the first like week of you doing it. In my junior year of high school, I had this bad habit of staring at the floor when walking in the hallways, so I made it a conscious decision to always look up and even make eye contact with random people that were walking by, even if it made them awkward too. It didn't matter because it was making my awkwardness feel like shit, which is exactly what I need. I needed my awkwardness and my awful self to just get over it. Make awkward situations your bitch. I mean it. Every single awkward situation that you get into, you need to make that your bitch. I kid you not, it will help so much. You will start to feel awkward in some situations. Like in my senior year, I was halfway between being awkward and not awkward. And I tell you that I was doing awkward things, but in my head, I was laughing. I was laughing at how awkward it was rather than being like, oh my God, what am I doing? I was legitimately having a good time being awkward. I could go on a rant why it's a good idea to pretend like you're not awkward in order to fix your awkwardness, but here, just remember this. First you say it, then you believe it, then it becomes true. And the number one thing that comes out of the mouth of people that are socially awkward and have these problems are usually self-deprecating words. This is the one thing that I needed to tell to girls especially, is that you need to stop being self-deprecating. A lot of girls in high school are naturally, they caption their photos with like, I look like a potato, or something cringy along those lines that makes them sound like, oh wow, she must hate how she looks. Isn't that crazy for how good looking she is? No one's buying it. Come on. Girls, I mean it. If there's anyone in your life that you need to love, it's yourself, especially in high school, because all these boys are stupid. The amount of hormones that are raging through these men, you don't even understand. The last place that you need boys to love you is high school. So number one thing, love yourself, no matter what. Your captions on your photos need to be the most self-centered things that you've ever said in your entire life. You need to look in the mirror every morning and gas yourself up because the boys are doing it. That's how boys get over it. That's why boys think they're so bad. They go in the mirror and we start dancing in the mirror, you know, like making some weird faces and stuff. And we do it all the time. And that's how we end up falling in love with how we look, because we're so self-centered in the mirror. So girls, guys, please be a little self-centered. Start to love yourself. And start telling yourself good things. Don't make yourself feel bad when you're already making yourself feel bad in every scenario that you walk into at school. Here's one thing that I notice socially awkward people do a lot. It's make every conversation somehow relatable to them. If you're in an awkward conversation and you don't know how to include yourself, don't make the conversation about you. Here's an example of what I mean. If you're in a conversation and someone says, hey guys, what would you do in a zombie apocalypse? And someone says, I don't know, what would you do in a zombie apocalypse? And then you go, oh, I know what I would do because I play this game called Call of Duty and it has this game mode called Zombie. No, you're not supposed to do that. Don't move the conversation to something completely different. What you need to do in conversations is ask questions, make the conversation about the other person, because it's easier. It makes it easy on you because your life's obviously not that interesting. So ask questions, talk to the other person and say, hey, like, how's your day? Oh, what are your aspirations in life? It's the same recurring situation, but at least it makes you seem a little less awkward than the next guy, and it's good practice for what you should do in a conversation. Before I get to the number one thing for boys to do, I'm gonna give you the one tip that if you take from this video will actually change your life. Everything that you say out of your mouth has power. Everything that you think has power. The second that you say you're gonna have a bad day, it's more likely to happen. The second that you say you're gonna do bad on a test, it's more likely to happen. Do any of this self-deprecating stuff, it becomes more true. The same way that if you're in a conversation and you say, awkward, suddenly it actually is awkward. It's just as powerful as that, I promise you. The things you say, you start to believe, and the things you believe start to become true. The reason that you see me on Instagram saying stuff like, I'm the sexiest man alive, I'm the funniest man alive, I don't mean it. Well, yeah, I actually kind of do mean it. I mean, look at me. I probably wouldn't love myself as much as I do if I was self-deprecating and say stuff like, oh, I'm so ugly, I hate how I look, blah, 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 blah. Sure, that's gonna get me compliments from other people, but the things that I say, I'm going to believe, and the things I believe become more true because I start to act like I'm more attractive. I start to act like I love myself. I start to act like I'm funny. Oh, man, I really said that. If you see me on my Discord, I'm always saying things that are super self-centered, and you probably think I'm super self-centered, and that's okay, because what you think doesn't change what I believe, and the way I act makes me more attractive. If I'm acting like I don't like how I look, I'm not very good looking, I'm also not very funny, so I'm not gonna tell anyone any jokes because I'm kind of scared that no one's gonna think I'm funny. It's pretty awkward in here, don't you think? That's less attractive than if I was a douchebag and pretended like I love myself. Oh man, what? oh man, why do all the girls love the douchebags? Because they pretend like they love themselves. They go out and say that they're attractive and shit. They walk around like they're the shit, and people love that because that's way more attractive than a person who loathes in their awkwardness. So that's the main thing. Pretend. Fake it till you make it. Whatever you want to call it. Before I give you boys the crazy alternative that I came up with that legitimately works, that I did my junior year and healed me in like 90 days or something, I'm gonna ask you guys to join my Discord because there's a lot of cool people in there that actually help you. There's a real talk chat in there that if you have any problems with social anxiety or anything, or if you have any scenarios that happen in your life and you want some advice or whatever, people actually do help you in there. I don't even have to butt in. I do sometimes butt in and help out people and stuff, but I mean, there's a lot of people in there who just love each other and it's cool. So if you do want to join my Discord, and it supports me a lot because that's where I make announcements of my new videos and whatnot, then make sure to go to the description. That's what they're called, right? The description, and click on the Discord link. But yeah, let's get to the final thing. All right, boys, listen up. Here is the one thing that you can do to annihilate your social awkwardness and start being the Chad that you deserve to be. Stop masturbating. I repeat, stop masturbating. You are releasing too much testosterone. Stop! You guys are gonna hate me for this, but I'm gonna be honest. You need to stop masturbating. That's the number one thing that you need to do, is seriously stop whacking it. Your semen has testosterone. Testosterone is what you need in your blood to be a man. It makes you more of a man. I promise you, the second you stop masturbating. No one's gonna listen to me. Anyway, here's the last tip. It's literally that. It's just stop whacking it. The less you whack it, the more testosterone actually goes into your body. This stuff's legitimately good for you. My junior year of high school, I went 90 days without masturbating to see what would happen. Let's just say I never went back. It's like a legitimate fact that the stuff that is in your semen that you are all over the place is actually good for you and you need it. The first 2 weeks might suck, but after like 2 weeks, I actually didn't even remember that I was doing it. After that, I was never more comfortable with talking to people. It changed me completely, and I promise you, please just try it. Please just try it. And I promise you, if you're actually as socially awkward as I was, it will help a lot. That extra testosterone that you get from just being normal and not doing nasty shit. It's really not that hard. You know what sucks is that you all would have probably liked this video and commented great things if it wasn't for this last tip. Now everyone's gonna be like, actually it's scientifically proven that masturbating is good for you because it gives you a little extra serotonin that only lasts like 2 seconds, and then you run out and you have a serotonin depression and start to feel really bad about what you did because it's actually not good for you, and that's your body telling you that you should stop because you need the testosterone. But anyway, I'm gonna end this on an awkward note. Sorry if I offended you by telling you that you have a masturbating problem. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. I want to do these more often. I really do. It took me so much freaking pressure from God to get me to record this video. I had to wake up and take a shower. Oh man, you don't understand. I really love making these, and I want to make them more high quality. I want to make them 10 times better than ever. And I also hate advertising a Patreon, but I'll put that in the description too. And if you want to subscribe to my Patreon, then join my Discord so I can thank you. And it gives you a role in my Discord if you're a patron. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you, and shapuya. The stuff that is in your semen that you are join my Discord. We need more people. Join my Discord. We love new people. Yeah, join my Discord. Yeah, yeah. Join my Discord and out. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Dexter, ooh.